Venom, the movie, is coming out against all of my prognostications that said to the contrary. Sony would never get their druthers together to make a Venom movie. Never underestimate the desperation of a dying movie studio. Because they will pour every cent, every ounce of their lack of creativity into one project and make it happen. The reference that we have made to the first episode of Back Issues, if you've never seen it, click the link above Ben there to find the very first episode we did of a book called Venom Returns.
Which was funny because it was our first book.
Yeah, our first book was the second major Venom story of all time. It was a much more loose show back then. Today we're going to talk about Venom Lethal Protector, written by David Michelinie with art by Mark Bagley, Ron Lim. I think that's it, but there may be another fill-in artist.
Hey, just like Jeff Johns, can we start doing like a Michelinie, Heine, hey?
Spider-Man has been dogged by Venom through at least 2 major story arcs, now the 3rd, and the writers just didn't know what the hell to do with Venom anymore. And he also prints money, so
we have to do something.
We are creatively bankrupt, but also desperately need to use this character.
Right.
What do we do?
Look how awesome he is.
Yeah, he looks great. He has just a terrific origin. And, and he really resonates with the kids. What are we going to do with him? Make him a superhero or an anti-hero. Those are big in 1994.
Right.
So they made Venom.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so they made Venom into an anti-hero. And it's funny because I remember that Lethal Protector dovetailed perfectly right out of 375, and my comic book store had like a little cardboard kiosk that had all 375 and also Lethal Protector. And my options were I could get 375 or a Lethal Protector.
You can get both?
Well, my mom was paying the bill, so those are my options.
So what did you pick?
I picked 375 because I was a Spider-Man fan, and I'm like, I can get Venom and Spider-Man for the price of one. What I didn't know is that if you picked up Venom Lethal Protector, you got Venom and Spider-Man for the price of one anyway. Because Spider-Man shows up in Venom Lethal Protector.
Of course he does. He's inextricably linked to
Funny
Spider-Man.
because, unless you make a movie about him.
Yeah, but it's also the #1 of Venom. How do I know if I'm going to like it?
That's right.
I'm already reading Spider-Man.
Yeah, I am reading Spider-Man. What if Venom doesn't work on his own?
What if I hate Spider-Man and only like Venom?
Well, then you
What
are
if I was
in
like
luck.
reading Spider-Man and I'm
just
like
gritting your teeth every time.
This sucks.
This guy, he hates himself, but this Venom guy, he kills people. He looks
gets
great.
It. Venom gets it.
Yeah, he has
Venom
everything. He is everything that I like about Spider-Man. He looks like Spider-Man, but he isn't Spider-Man in any way.
Hold the phone.
Perfect.
Stop the presses.
Yeah.
I am on board for this guy.
Right. Lethal Protector.
I don't know why you're even writing Spider-Man stories anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop
That boat is
drilling.
sailed.
Yeah, they might as
What
well.
is this, the 60s?
They might as well just killed Spider-Man with Venom and then just moved on.
Yeah. Venom's where he's the ultimate refinement of Spider-Man.
The perfect distillation of that character.
Yeah.
This is what we call evolution.
Yes, Venom is the next step of Spider-Man. Venom Lethal Protector is basically, remember that episode of Gilmore Girls?
No.
Venom Lethal Protector, Amazing Spider-Man 375 is a backdoor pilot to Lethal Protector, where they're like, are people going to buy a Venom series? Let's find out, make it a mini-series.
Yeah.
Won't keep them, on the leash too long. And then it rolled out. First of all, it did great. Secondly, they rolled out with an endless supply of mini-series after that. Lethal Protector did so well, and people loved Venom so much that they're like, but instead of making it, and I don't understand the logic behind it, where they weren't like, Venom, #1, till the end of time.
Right. Let's make as much money as possible by printing books continuously.
Instead, they're like Venom, The Madness, 1 through 4. Venom, The Darkness, 1 through 6. Venom and Punisher, 1 through 4.
Maybe because they understood that they couldn't sustain an entire series with the Venom
and it's
character.
funny because all those stories all still carried over with a couple of major plot points, like the setting and the supporting cast, such that it was, and all that. You did catch up on Venom's ongoing story.
Right.
Because God knows no one else was going to write about them.
No.
So
now, before we get too far, though, what about that Gilmore Girls episode?
Oh, Rory's boyfriend leaves for California to hook back up with his dad or something.
Oh.
And the episode about that is an obvious backdoor pilot to a series about him on the other coast.
Yeah.
They were desperate to make it because they shot Gilmore Girls in California, and they had to recreate the northeast of the United States every time.
It just wasn't worth it.
It just wasn't worth it. So they're like, well,
it's not worth it.
What if we just make this one about this kid, and then we can just shoot at the beach, and it costs us half the money? And it was dreadful.
So, unlike that
wait, they
episode of
actually
Gilmore
made it?
Girls,
Oh, they made the episode. So you're watching Gilmore Girls, and then there's this. Let's go, and they set up like a new cast of characters, and it's all about Rory's ex-boyfriend. And you're like, no, and everyone said this sucks.
And so they just didn't do it.
but it's California.
I know, and the studio was like, this ain't gonna fly. So that was
But
it. We're not
unlike
making
the episode
it.
of Gilmore Girls, Venom worked.
Yes.
The one-shots, like
Yeah.
that branching out.
No, that backdoor pilot worked like a charm. I don't know how it worked, but like it did. And
You know what's funny? That's the exact same thing they did with Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel.
An Angel, yeah. Oh,
'Cause
no.
Angel also went to LA.
Anyway, the idea is that Spider-Man and Venom strike a deal. And he's like, if you don't come after me, I won't come after you, the end.
Right. If you don't kill me, I won't have you arrested.
Right.
If you also stop killing other people,
Right.
I
I'm
won't
sure
come
that
after
was part of the
you.
deal,
That
right?
was
Or
not.
it?
It was
Oh.
like the weakest deal ever. Basically, Venom says, don't come after me, I won't come after you, and I'll leave you alone. Because basically Venom understands that like Spider-Man possesses some kind of necessary skills. Like he's like, you saved someone I cared about, maybe you're not all bad.
Okay. Now,
I'm not bad at all.
I know.
I'm the good guy.
No, but because of you, my life is shitty.
does Venom even need Spider-Man to agree to anything, though? If he just goes to San Francisco, like, Spider-Man's on the other coast.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't, like, go places and hunt down people, right?
No.
Like, usually.
Usually. But in Venom Lethal Protector, they agree to the deal, and then Venom leaves, and then Spider-Man says, I can't believe I just did that. And then, in Lethal Protector, Spider-Man hops a plane and goes to San Francisco to look for him. Because he's like, maybe I made a mistake.
Oh.
Maybe I have to follow up on this.
Maybe I
he's
need-
not being a good guy.
Maybe I need to be on the cover of the first couple of issues of Venom Lethal Protector to make sure this series goes off without a hitch.
Well, yeah, guest starring Spider-Man.
Yeah. So
Not guest starring San Diego and its wonderful inhabitants.
exactly, which it does have and feature heavily in this book because we're like new setting,
Wait,
new
this is San
characters.
Francisco, I'm sorry.
San Francisco. I'm sorry. You're right.
Whatever, one of those sands.
Yeah,
Well, it's got the bridge.
it's got the bridge and the trolley. So Venom is in from San Francisco and he's doing his thing. He's lethal protecting,
Yeah.
whatever the hell
Like,
that means.
Killing people who hurt people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But not himself.
yeah. No.
No.
Because he hurts people.
Oh yeah, no, he's a monster.
Killing people who hurt innocent people.
Right.
Yeah.
And because Venom was innocent once, that's what he says every time. Every time that
Really?
Venom, at any point that Venom has some downtime, he says, we were innocent once until that accursed Spider-Man ruined our lives. And then he gets a
Right.
whole spiel about the Sin Eater and the hoax and the, being a disgraced photographer
Jesus.
or reporter, blah, blah, blah.
Does he
So-
say his name is Eddie Brock all the time, too?
Constantly. So Venom kills this guy who's gonna try and hurt
That's
this
why
lady.
he has to kill people. I've said too much.
They've heard too much. Now, unlike Spider-Man, Venom and Eddie Brock are synonymous. Most people know that Eddie Brock is Venom. In fact, whenever Eddie Brock's walking around, usually the cops are like, is that Eddie Brock, that Venom guy? And then they try to get him.
They call him Eddie. I'm not going to call you by your stupid fake
Yeah, is that
name.
Venom? No.
You called yourself Venom. We don't call you Venom. That's like buying into your like madness.
Right. Yeah, you're Eddie Brock, who is possessed by an alien. Yeah, you're a victim.
Yeah.
You need help. No one has ever
We're not
approached
going to
him from that.
validate your fucking insane life choices by
Delusions.
calling you Venom.
And by
Yes.
help, we mean we need to give you lots of volts to the head with an electric chair.
Well, plus, like, if we ever like arrest you, your lawyer is going to use the fact that we call you Venom against you. They're going to be like, even the
see,
cops
they
don't
think he's
acknowledge
Venom.
that he's Eddie Brock.
Right,
Eddie
Eddie
Brock
Brock
and
is-
Venom are two different entities.
He's not culpable for any of his crimes. It's this
the perfect
alien.
defense.
We all know that the thing that carries Eddie Brock around and forces him to do terrible things is a monster from the stars that Spider-Man brought here because the Fantastic Four held a press conference after Secret Wars and told everybody about it or something. They didn't, but I'm just saying, like,
Right.
it's common knowledge. At that point, anytime they talk about it like Venom, they go, whoa, why are we talking about Venom when Carnage exists?
Fair enough.
It's like, man, Spider-Man, you're 0 for 2. Venom's bouncing around the city. He's trying to earn an honest living by, like just existing in San Francisco, like laying low, but he's still doing his thing. He's like, I'm protecting people. I'm gonna see how that rolls for a little while.
Does he have a job?
Not yet.
All right.
So
And
he's just going to like soup kitchens and stuff.
more or less, yeah.
Living in alleys.
We don't actually see him
Eating hobos.
day to day eating hobos.
No, you're eating bad hobos.
He befriends hobos in a minute, but he's trying to exist. And then the cops see him and they're like, "Oh, that's Eddie Brock. Let's go arrest him."
Right.
So they go and attack
They just
him.
have him like on
Yeah, he's wanted in New York or whatever.
Yeah,
or maybe the
he's
FBI
APB or
wants
something.
him.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's probably
Oh, no,
he's probably on America's Most Wanted list.
No
like,
doubt.
If we get him,
He's
like,
a mass murderer. He was
Yeah.
been in the Vault, which is a supermax prison for supervillains that was held in the Colorado Rockies. So
Why aren't they calling in like superheroes, like San Francisco heroes?
there aren't any.
because those are vigilantes. We don't.
No, those.
The Law and Order's going to bring him in, not these super freaks.
Well, no one at any point says like, I'm not calling Hawkeye that like, degenerate.
Oh, they don't.
No.
Oh.
I mean, they should. It'd be actually great to see the West Coast Avengers go, we'll take him down. And then Venom's like, I'm propped up by popularity. There's nothing you can do, Vision. So Venom is attacked by police, or Eddie Brock is.
Yeah.
Then he becomes Venom, and he basically throws them away. He's like, get away from me. And he's trying to book a room. And the cops
live his life.
Exactly. And the cop's like, hey, freeze. And he's like, oh, why can't you leave me alone? It's like, because due process, man. Because you've broken like several laws. You've murdered people.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you cross state
You have
lines.
to stand trial.
Right.
You can't
it doesn't
allow
matter
people
if-
to just like escape justice just because they look like a monster.
But I made a deal with Spider-Man. Oh, we made a deal with Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Oh.
Oh, well, he's a legally binding authority.
My goodness, so why didn't we have this written in?
Yeah.
Excuse me,
Multiple
please.
counts of murder, manslaughter.
But you made
breaking
a
and entering.
verbal agreement with
Ooh.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, so I'll just have to call up the DA over in New York and verify the legal deal that Spider-Man established with you. And
Yeah.
oh, that's funny. He doesn't know anything about it.
But guess what? I'll take you on your word, and here, I'll pay for your room for the night. You'll have a lovely time.
Yeah. And oh, by the way, while we're doing this, I'm going to ride a unicorn to the moon. You asshole, you're under arrest. So
I get the feeling you're being sarcastic.
we were sarcastic once before that accursed Spider-Man destroyed our lives. So
Does he do that yet, or is that later? That he calls himself we?
It's later. So,
mean,
he does that throughout the book.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Nice.
it's always we.
Yeah, which is carried over in the movie.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, why would we do that? Oh,
Oy.
jeez. Oh, my God. Swell choice, Tom. So, Peter Parker's at the Daily Bugle, and Ben
If he
Urich
shows
is-
up to beat us up, I'm blaming you.
Tom Hardy?
Are you kidding me? That'd be that would blow up our Instagram.
Why does he got to do a thing with voices all the time?
Every time. You can't just be the.
I have an English accent. I gotta hide it.
The last time he didn't do a ridiculous voice when he played Shinzon in freaking Star Trek.
Oh my God.
Google.
I just got. He had to do an impression of Patrick Stewart if he
He
did
were
raised
raised by Remus
by
in
Remus.
the depths of Romulus. Or Remus.
No, on the moon of
On the moon of
Remus, in the
Remus.
mines.
Yeah,
It was actually a pretty sophisticated impression.
this is true. Yeah, it was a lot of layers. He's like the Daniel Day-Lewis of shitty movies. So, Peter Parker's at the Daily Bugle, and Ben Urich is like, oh, it looks like Venom kicked the shit out of some cops in San Francisco. And Spider-Man's like, okay.
Why do we have news like that?
Yeah, well, because he's
Because
Venom.
that's crazy. That sells papers. I'd pick up a
Yeah.
paper if the front page article was Venom punching cops.
In San Francisco, who cares?
Because it's
This is
crazy.
New York.
Because
Yeah,
he's a monster.
Yeah, because also there's the Spider-Man connection. Venom's running amok over there
he's
now.
infamous.
Why didn't Spider-Man do something about this guy? So
Get
Spider-Man,
me pictures of Venom.
Yeah, so Spider-Man
Spider-Man's
spends
old news.
Spider-Man spends 3 pages recounting Venom's origin, just in case you didn't know.
Right. Every comic.
Should we do it? Should we tell you the origin of Venom in the comics?
Let me
Spider-Man
guess.
has a costume. He makes it go away. It doesn't like him. It goes after Eddie Brock, and then Eddie Brock becomes Venom in the end.
Because Eddie Brock also has a thing against Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Yeah, Eddie Brock was disgraced by Spider-Man because he lied about an article that he was writing about like this murderer.
Did Venom know that? Is that why it chose him, or is that like a weird coincidence?
It was a weird coincidence. No, the idea is that like
That's dumb.
yeah, Spider-Man ruins Eddie Brock's career because Eddie Brock is a terrible reporter, and then he's going to kill himself at the same church that Spider-Man purges the symbiote, and the symbiote, feeling Eddie's hatred for Spider-Man, goes on to him, and then the two of
So
them.
it does know that he has hatred for Spider-Man.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
And then he's like, "Oh man, if you hate Spider-Man, you should know
Right.
he's Peter Parker, and we should go kill him."
We're gonna join a super secret club of 2 people who hate Spider-Man.
That's right. And it's called Venom.
No, it's called We.
It's Eddie Brock. He's the most visually distinct person in the entire book. He's got this amazing mullet. It's beautiful. It's
awesome.
It's glorious. So Venom, Eddie Brock is walking around this park. He's just trying to like take a load off, and he's thinking about his future. And then he sees that like a bunch of vagrants are being attacked by dudes in suits,
Oh.
and he's like, "Oh no!" So then he goes and he like tries to save them. He's like, geez, every time I'm out, they pull me back in. Spider-Man arrives, and he sees that Venom is attacking these, like, dudes in suits.
Right.
So he's like, oh, geez, Venom. First
Up to
it's
his old
cops.
tricks.
Yeah. First you're beating up cops, now what are these, FBI agents, CIA? Like, what are you doing? And Venom's like, hey, you broke our deal, man. What are you doing
That's a good
here?
point.
Now I get to kill you.
Right, except he doesn't at any point. He's like, no, Venom's the bigger person in his own book. So Venom's like, we'll get over this in a minute, but first, I should warn you that those guys, yeah, they're not DA, they're not FBI, they're just like punks with guns. And Spider-Man's like, oh, and then they both get shot at.
Oh.
So Spider-Man...
Like a lot.
Yeah, so Spider-Man beats them up, while Venom goes and protects the homeless people, and then absconds with them.
It absconds with the homeless people.
Well, the homeless people lead Venom away. Like he goes like, they're like, I know where to go. That's all behind, in between the panels.
I see.
But Venom and these homeless people leave.
So they try to help Venom because they know Spider-Man's trying to get him. They're like, oh, we'll get you out of here, Venom.
Yeah. And also, because Venom saved them in the first place.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man stops them, then Venom and the homeless people are gone, and Spider-Man's like, oh man, he ditched me. So while Spider-Man is bewildered by the abandonment of Venom, we meet up with this like rich fat cat character who is watching the report about Venom on the news, and he's like, soon, Hugh, my beloved son. You're like, oh, who's this guy? Who's he talking to? What's going on?
Was he behind the people accosting the homeless people? No.
No. There's many different nefarious schemes going on.
Well,
thankfully, they're all intrinsically tied to each other, except for this guy.
San Francisco is just rife with crime.
Yes.
Yeah, just rife with people in suits beating up homeless people for no reason.
Yeah.
It's almost amazing there's not a superhero out here.
It is kind of, but well, it's like they need one, or maybe not a superhero, maybe an anti-hero.
You keep saying that.
Yeah. So Venom is led through the underground tunnels by these homeless people, and he's like, "Man, this is actually kind of impressive. Like that, it's not. I thought I'd go into the sewer and it looked like Ninja Turtles, but it's actually like a whole city and stuff." And then they're like, "Yeah, well, it turns out that like in 1906 there was a big earthquake in San Francisco, which is true, and the original city like fell into the ground and like
Not all of it though.
No, but there's like a lot of there's some leftover stuff down like underground,
And they just built on top of it.
yeah, and they built the new city on
Just
top.
created a big cavern and then built on top of that cavern.
Right, and that cavern also houses like old 1906 era buildings and architecture and
Which are completely intact and
completely
livable.
intact and livable.
They
And
just decided,
and they
like,
have-
you know what? No.
yeah,
The memories are too painful. Let's just cover
let's
it all.
just cover it all up. Well, it fell into the
build this.
ground, so they built new ground on top of it.
Oh.
And there's still electricity and running
fucking
water.
Oh, and naturally. So yeah, there's a whole underground city that Venom could be a part of and protect, and that's the setup.
Oh, he protects that city. He doesn't even protect the city above.
No, these people need his protection much more. Because when they're walking through the catacombs leading to this hidden city, they run into these giant mech suits of diggers that are run by by Roland Treese.
The fat cat?
Well, he's another fat cat. The fat cat I was talking about was somebody totally different.
Oh my god!
No, Roland Treese is this like developer of San Francisco who has like designs on the underground city. He actually owns the park that is above the city.
You know what I like about the story? It's so relatable. To like problems that everyday
Really
people
connects
have.
Venom to the reader,
You know,
the average reader.
like sometimes your underground city gets attacked by a developer with giant mechs.
And
You know?
sometimes you find yourself like defending homeless people from guys in suits when Spider-Man ruins your day.
Yeah, when you have a hard time or when you find someone in a hard time, all you have to do is reach deep down into your inner alien costume and then just find the strength within you to just come out and save these poor
protect your rejected, invisible community that magically exists underground.
your adopted family.
Yeah.
So Venom fights these cool mechs.
That's cool.
And it is cool. It's a cool little fight.
That's why the mechs exist.
Naturally.
So
They're
you can
there
fight
so that
them,
Venom can fight them and so that you could think he might lose.
Yeah, usually they'd use like a bulldozer or something, but that would look.
Well, also because like it's kind of off the books. We don't want anyone to know about it because they're fighting, and right now we're in like a catacomb. I really didn't bury the lead very well about the underground city because we're in the catacombs. The fight has the digger like accidentally crack a hole. They all fall through like Balrog and Gandalf, and then they land in the underground city. And Venom naturally assumes that they've gone back in time.
By the way, this is goddamn stupid. There's a fucking horse and buggy.
Well, yeah,
because the earthquake froze everything at that time.
No, I think that the underdwellers go up, they steal horses, and they bring them down.
Oh. It just so happens that
because
it
if they
corresponds with the architecture around.
Well, if they used cars, they'd asphyxiate. They'd all die.
That's true.
They'd
They can't-
asphyxiate anyway.
What, from the methane of the horses?
Just from the oxygen.
No, there's air holes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
If there's air holes, then cars can run.
Well,
Not-
there's air holes, but there's not enough.
This is a small.
Oh, there's not enough.
There's a
Yeah.
small
You've checked
congested
the
city. Listen,
area.
if outdoor cities with skies and everything have smog,
Yeah.
then underground cities
be
that
a
is
thousand
literally
times
one.
worse.
You'd be unlivable.
You think inversion layers are bad? Try a fucking cave
Yeah,
roof.
try no sky. Anyway, so Venom's like, oh my god, we followed through time.
That's fucking awesome.
I remember I was like, I think I'm done. And I quit the book, and then I saw the cover of the next issue, and I was like, oh, never mind. So
This?
no, it was the next one. I was like, oh, and I've seen an
This?
image of Venom being cool.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and here's his crotch. Oh, I am on board again.
That's just a Spider-Man drawing. But
Exactly.
black.
Yeah. Anyway, so
That's Spider-Man's crotch is what I'm saying. Sal saw that a million times and it didn't phase him.
Right, but when it was Venom, all bets are off. So Venom fights this digger.
He's still fighting that was the last book. He's still fighting it in this book?
Well, he's got to like.
Well, yeah, they crashed
They
into the
crashed into
actual
the
city.
ground. They
that was
landed
the
in the city.
cliffhanger,
Yeah, that was
yes,
the
okay.
cliffhanger. So Venom and the digger fight. Then like the locals show up and they're like throwing things at the digger.
You mess with Venom, you
mess
mess
with
with
all
all
of
of
us.
us.
How come they have guns? Shouldn't they have like
They
muskets?
have muskets. No, the digger
No.
remarks on how they're like they have like turn of the century weaponry.
Why would they? Why
Yeah,
would,
if they're going topside to steal horses, why aren't they stealing like AK-47s and stuff?
Forsooth, why must thou fightest in our mine
yeah.
street?
I
Wait, they
gave you
don't
the
talk?
car thing, but the gun thing.
Stupid.
That's
where I lose.
It would be harder to find ammunition and gunpowder and stuff. It's just
it's
a lot
true.
of work.
It is, yeah. Well, they make it work down there. So this is why it's a culture that's worth preserving.
Well, why aren't they wearing period clothes? Why do they wear modern day
Some
like
of them
rags
do.
and
You know,
stuff?
like this guy has a cane. When he clearly
Whoa,
doesn't
people
have
can't have canes
He
now.
clearly doesn't
It's
have like an impediment of
It's
any
a
kind.
fancy cane, Ethan.
It
That's
is.
a walking
It's
cane.
a cosmetic
It's a
cane.
show for a cane for
This guy has
show.
mutton chops. He's pairing the mutton chops with the accoutrement.
If so, props. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, by the way, the guy you're remarking on, his name is Ethan.
Really? Wow. Okay.
I'm liking
All right,
this guy.
you've won him over.
Yeah, so anyway, the locals are like, okay, we've stopped the diggers, now let's get Venom out of here. Because they know who Venom is.
Right. Like you did help us, but like you're
Yeah.
still like a monster.
Right, but then the one of the ladies that was part of the original homeless people that Venom saved up top, she's like, no, Venom protected us, he's cool.
Ah.
And so
How
he's
did
like,
he protect you? Lethally.
so then her name's Elizabeth. Elizabeth tries to convince Ethan to let Venom stay with them. Like, he needs a place to stay, he should live with us.
Is Ethan like the leader?
He's like part of the council. And he's like, well, we all got to vote. We got to vote on whether we want to let Venom live here.
Is Ethan a bad guy?
No. I mean, like, there's a dude with an eye patch, and he's more or less like the antagonist that's part of this. But it's more of a
Okay.
bureaucratic antagonist where it's like,
Right.
I don't care for Venom, fundamentally speaking. Like,
He's like the J. Jonah Jameson.
yeah, but he's like he is. He's like, well, it's funny because the guy with the eye patch is like a preacher. So he believes that Venom is like a sign from God, that like he's a demon of some kind. Yeah.
No, it's a sign from God that there is no God because I came from space. Where was that in your freaking holy scripture?
Where's the chapter on aliens?
He fell from heaven.
Right? Maybe.
He's a fallen angel.
Yeah, like
It
Lucifer.
fucking writes itself.
But one of them says, like, but you know Lucifer was an angel, so. Anyway, so they're gonna vote, and it's funny because I remember like thinking at the time, like, okay, whoa. If he's gonna live here and be part of our society and protect us, then we're gonna have to vote. I was running from cops. I don't want to live down here.
Yeah, wait. I didn't
I can
ask
save
to
you
be part of your goddamn
I can save you a good
society.
40-minute meeting if you just listen to me for 2 seconds. I'm not living here.
I'm
It
gonna
smells like
get my
horse
life
shit
started.
down here.
We call that manure.
Yeah.
Has he figured
It's
out
horrible.
that he hasn't traveled back in time yet?
Oh yeah, no,
Okay.
immediately. No, he was like, at one point when he says, "Oh, we traveled through time," the digger guy goes, "The man with the living costume is right. What seems to be that we've traveled through time." And they're like, "We haven't traveled through time, you moron."
No, you fucking idiot. There was
time
an
travel.
earthquake and all the buildings like fell down or something and remained perfectly intact and there's a cavern over them and we live here
Yeah.
with buggies and shit. Duh. Time travel.
Preposterous.
What a fucking idiot.
Now, if you excuse me, I have my 3 p.m. leeches meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to
So,
be fresh.
so Venom goes to the council meeting, and they're like, "No."
Is
They
that
all
his
vote
fucking
no.
shirt?
Oh.
Yeah, it's got little Venoms on. Well, the costume mimics clothing. He doesn't
know.
have natural clothing, so the costume will look. It's
He's
just
naked?
Yeah. Well, he wears briefs,
Oh.
but for our sake. But the
More for the symbiote's sake.
Yeah, but
I ain't
because-
getting up
Because
close
the
to
comics
that.
code is still a thing.
Yeah,
so
well,
it's
also
still-
because the symbiote like makes clothes, and if you've been living with the symbiote for like years and it always makes clothes, like why would I ever wear like
Yeah,
a shirt underneath
that's
this
true.
thing? Plus, if you have a physique like Venom, you want to show it off.
Maybe to
sometimes.
like maintain like some shred of your manhood.
That's why he wears the briefs.
I have an idea. Why would I not have it be Venom themed though? Like, I'm gonna get some fresh Nikes.
Which is
or,
why
like,
he has
Reebok
this
gear.
sweet like shirt with like a Venom pattern on it. Just
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
A little nod.
Yeah. So the council rejects him. Is it because he's Venom?
Yeah.
Or is it because he's an outsider?
It's both.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. There's talk of outsiders.
He's not from around here.
Yeah. Oh no, and the preacher is like, he's a work of the devil. He is.
I'm sorry. Did you fall down here? No.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you part of the earthquake initiative?
Pretty sure you'd be dead by now.
Yes, I'm descended from the original inhabitants.
Yeah. No.
Actually, is that a thing?
no.
People didn't know. Okay.
No, they're just homeless people who live here. Some of them are, I think. No.
I really want to know about like the history of this autocracy.
But because it's so poorly written, it's kind of like I don't really know. Like,
Right. We'll figure that out later.
Michelini heard a rumor about the 1906 thing. Artistic license. Feel free to do that. It's actually kind of a neat idea.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like the old pneumatic transit system underneath, New York. Like there's that cool like underground tunnel thing where it's like with chandeliers and old posters and stuff, and it's like, hey, that's kind of neat. If you were to expound on that, like they did in Ninja Turtles 2, they get a new layer out of the deal, and it looks really dope.
Yeah.
Roland Treese has designs on this city. Like normally, there'd be a live and let live situation.
Sure.
You wouldn't even know they were there.
Yeah. You'd be like, good, they're going away.
Right. Feel free. I mean, why not?
Which is very much the situation for Spider-Man and Venom.
Right. Yeah. Just
Live
like
and
live and
let
let
live,
live, man. So anyway, Venom gets kicked out, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, you're not going to tell anybody about this place, are you?" And he's like, "No, I'm good."
Well, actually, that'll depend.
And that would have been great, but instead Venom's like an honorable man.
Right.
So he's just like, "No, I'll be cool."
All right.
Spider-Man's plot throughout this book is he doesn't know what to do, and he's stuck in San Francisco. So what he does throughout the book is he tries to dig up information about Eddie Brock. And he learns that Eddie Brock's father, Carl Brock, lives in San Francisco. So he's like,
that why he went there?
Yeah. No, he went there because he heard that Venom was in San Francisco shaking out
No,
cops.
I mean, is that why Venom went there?
Oh, maybe subconsciously. But they don't connect in this book.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
You'd think there'd be a thing.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to have this confrontation.
Yeah, but
about-
we did just do that in the last issue of 375 with Venom and his ex-wife Annie. Every time that Spider-Man doesn't know what to do about Venom, it's an opportunity for Michelini to give some depth and background to Eddie Brock as a character. So in 375, he doesn't know how to find Venom. So he finds out that Venom had an ex-wife. And so he finds her, and he asks her for information about Eddie. She tells him more background on who he is, which doesn't help him in any way, and then he leaves. But then Annie feels bad, so then she goes and she gets herself involved in the conflict. In this story, Spider-Man's like, well, that worked out so well, let me try it again.
Well, she didn't really help me with anything, but she did kind of flesh out his character a bit, so if someone was reading this, they'd probably appreciate it.
Exactly. So
Let me
he
go try
finds
to do
out
that
about
again.
Carl Brock, so then he goes to Carl's house, and he's like, hey, I'm here because I want to talk to you about your son.
Ah, my son, sit down, have some tea.
Yeah,
we'll have
no.
a long conversation about how Eddie grew up as a child and all the tragedies that befell him.
This was a mistake.
That is exactly what happens, but not from Carl. Carl hates his son because he's a failure. When he was a disgraced reporter, that was like the last straw for Eddie and Carl. Then it turns out that his son turned into like an alien monster that killed people, which made him even more embarrassed.
Yeah.
So anytime anybody wants to talk about Eddie to Carl, Carl's like, get out of here. So Peter leaves, and later he'll dress as Spider-Man and then be like, hey, Carl, tell me about Venom! And he's like, no, get out of here. And then Carl's housekeeper shows up. She's like, I'll tell you all about him. Oh. And then she tells Spider-Man about like the childhood that Eddie had because she was his like caregiver.
Oh, okay.
Venom finds out that the diggers come from Treese's organization.
Right.
So he breaks into Treese's like philanthropic building and he checks out his goings on. And what he finds out is very little. He finds out that Treese owns the park above the underground city. Then he gets...
What does Treese do?
Treese is like a developer.
Yeah, okay.
And so...
Venom finds out he's not a very good detective.
Yeah, Venom finds out that he may be a lethal protector, but he's a weak lethal detective. So Venom gets attacked by the local security of Treese, and then leaves. All he finds out basically is that like Treese is doing something, and he owns the land above the underground city. There's diggers, which means that Reese must know something about the underground city.
Yeah.
So he's involved somehow, and maybe if I help the underground people, they'll let me live with them.
And then I don't have to pay for rent.
What?
Bingo.
Why does he want to live with them?
Because basically
he doesn't
established at
have
the
a
beginning of the
house?
story that Eddie can't like go anywhere without people recognizing him and then trying to arrest him.
But
Right.
they still recognized him down on
Right, but like
down below.
if I protect them or if like they have a superhero in their midst, maybe they'll let me stay there.
Like, I feel like they're gonna need me more, or I can convince them that they need me, and I can't really do that above ground.
Exactly.
Because they aren't part of society.
Right.
So they might be able
They
to.
they can't call the cops.
Right.
They'll just tell them to leave.
Of course they won't. They'll call the constable.
That's fair. So,
Yeah, but I only gotta convince like 50 people to like me here. I gotta convince a whole city up there. It's just just a much more manageable.
so then Venom leaves the Reese building, and he's swinging around like, I don't know anything. I'm really bad at this. And then he is attacked by another private security team run by Orwell Taylor.
Oh no.
Orwell Taylor is the father of a former Vault security officer that Venom killed in a random Spider-Man story.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
So in Amazing Spider-Man 315, Venom kills a security guard, and then his father creates an entire organization called the Jury, who are using Stark-esque armor under the sole purpose of killing Venom.
Wow.
I'm sorry, you had access
this
to
is why
this kind of
superheroes shouldn't
technology,
Yeah.
and your son was a security guard.
Yeah.
See, he
We keep-
believes that even his own children should put in their dues to
Right.
society by having a normal everyday job before they inherit the
family fortune.
fortune.
Yeah. So Taylor and the Jury attack Venom, and now you're like, cool, look at this. Okay. Like we've got
this?
this is the Jury.
Oh
Why
my
does he look
God.
different?
Because they need to look different.
But these ones look the same.
Right.
No, they
but
don't.
there's a lot of them that look like that too.
Well,
Oh, I see.
these guys don't
color-wise.
fly.
Ah, so there's two different styles of suit.
Yes, eventually when we establish the Jury, they mostly look like that guy though. In fact, all of them will look like that in like
And
an issue or two.
It's very confusing.
Well, just simply put, we're establishing the depths of the Venom cinematic universe, or the Venom comic book universe.
Yeah.
You see, we don't need Spider-Man. In fact, we'll marginalize him and make him just chase his own tail for the entire series.
Yeah.
Venom.
Venom, lame Spider-Man is Venom's where it's
Venom's
at.
where it's at. Don't you want to see a story where Venom wants to ingratiate himself with homeless people in an underground city from 1906? And
men in
he
robot
fights
suits.
and he fights business developers and angry security officers.
Once again, so relatable.
Right, again. Oh, and by the way, the Jury is made up of former security guards who worked with Taylor's son.
Oh, so
At
they're
the-
like friends, and they're like, we're gonna avenge our dead friend.
Yeah.
What happens when he runs out of friends?
Well, then pretty much he's up shit's creek. Or you can sell the armor to like Stark or something. The housekeeper tells them about how Eddie was. The mom died in childbirth, so the dad blames Eddie for killing the mom. So nothing that Eddie ever did was good enough for the dad.
Jeez. Ugh.
And so he's a big jerk.
Yeah.
And so Spider-Man's like, wow, that was really helpful. And then he leaves and he's like, that was no help whatsoever.
Wait a minute. No, it wasn't.
Like, I don't know anything more about trying
I
to
guess
catch
you're a little
Venom.
more sympathetic toward Eddie.
Yeah,
I
a
know
little
what I'll
bit.
do.
Yeah, you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
I'll guilt him about his dead mom.
Hey, wow, way to screw up like that time you were born and you killed your mom. So,
There.
That'll really
Point one for Spider-Man.
really get him off his game so I
So-
can arrest him and throw him in jail for the rest of his life.
right. So Venom is attacked again by the Jury.
They just keep following him.
So then he kicks their ass, and then
Why doesn't he kill them?
because, well, he I think he kills at least one or two.
Ah, okay.
But it's like because there's a lot of them, and they also have like sonics and fire guns. and
Oh,
stuff.
so they know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, no, they're.
I mean,
very
they were
well off.
created for a singular purpose to
Yes,
kill Venom.
exactly. And the cell he was in when he killed Taylor's son was also made for him. Like even the Vault knew how to
Right.
beat Venom. So
Venom's really not that much of a threat once
Not
you know
really.
how to fight him.
the book of matches, you're ready to go. So a nearby helicopter, run by Reese, flies by and says, "Venom, we will harbor you and protect you from the Jury if you come with us and listen to my proposition." And Venom's like, "Cool." So then he gets aboard the helicopter, and Reese, who is of course illustrated by a computer screen, because we would never risk being there, is like, "Okay, so I've realized now that fighting you is a fool's errand. So what I'm going to do is I would like you to come to my facility and in the Mojave Desert, and I will offer you a job as my head of security."
Yeah, I'm sure this isn't a trap.
You're right. And Venom's like, "I'm down." So, and I think Venom's mostly like, I don't trust you, but I also want to get away from the jury, and
Right.
I think maybe I'll be able, since I'm a terrible detective, I'm happy to be spoon-fed information.
Right.
So let's go to your desert compound and let's find out more.
Yeah.
So
Smart.
Venom goes to the facility. He's immediately betrayed and held against his will by a wall of fire.
Whoops.
And he runs into Carlton Drake. Carlton Drake is a head of a company called the Life Foundation. And the Life Foundation has a number of fat cat members on the board of directors, one of whom is Roland Treese. And Roland Treese uses his contact through Carlton Drake and the Life Foundation to capture Venom, because Carlton Drake and the Life Foundation have other schemes for Venom. Because Roland Treese has plans for the underground city, and Venom's trying to stop that.
Right.
So he's like, I got an idea. Carlton, you have like a whole security firm plan that you want to go on. What if I hand deliver you Venom? Will that help you with your plans? He's like, yes, it will. So then Carlton Drake captures
Kill two
Venom.
birds with one stone.
Exactly.
You get what you want, I get what I want.
And Owen
Yeah,
Taylor
okay.
wants to kill Venom because of his dead son, but the jury doesn't factor in anymore.
This is getting complicated.
It's all about private security, by the way. It's all about business mogul fat cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to build a private security empire.
That's literally the big thing.
And you will do what with this? I will security.
I will sell your services to bigger companies.
You will guard their expensive facilities.
Yes.
And make money.
You will be
And-
paid a 401k and receive a generous healthcare plan. And Venom's like, I'm gonna never help you.
Yeah, you just threatened me with fire.
Yeah, I would never help you. And Drake's like, oh, no, I don't want you. I want your children.
What?
Because I saw Maximum Carnage on TV.
Oh.
And I would like to make my own carnages for my security firm.
Sure.
If I get my own symbiotes and then outfit my top people with them, then I can sell their services and control
Right, I'll
symbiotes.
corner the market on
private security symbiote men
Yeah.
and women. It's an equal
Great.
opportunity employer, by the way.
And dogs.
I mean, that's not the
That'd
worst
be really
idea.
cool. No. It is
Except that
because you've
that's-
made an enemy of Venom.
Well, also, like, Carnage is like a fucking serial killer? So,
Yeah.
like, what makes you think it's gonna go better?
Right.
Well, because
Well, I guess because it took over security, serial
Cletus
killer.
Cassidy was a serial killer.
Yes, Cletus
if I
was a
put good
psycho.
people in the symbiotes,
Right, or at
it'll
least
work.
motivated people.
And of course, like they would use like army recruitees or mercenaries,
Yes.
people who you buy.
Yeah,
Right,
they're
exactly.
already gonna help you.
Because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
never going to backfire.
Right. So Drake has Venom in a floating ball that keeps him suspended so that he can taunt him
Wow.
while also extract... I mean, like, this
very impressive
technology
tech.
all by itself is enough for Drake to be a bazillionaire.
Yep. Why does he even need? He should just make those machines that sell them. This plan seems very risky and elaborate.
Yeah.
When he could just.
Well, Drake is nothing if not a risk taker.
Because once he does, Reed Richards will just be like,
I'll take
"Oh,
that.
I see you created a little floaty thing. I've already made it, and I've improved it,
Yep.
and now I'm selling it for a third of the cost.
Yeah, because I'm already rich and I'm a good guy. So
I'm Reed Richards. Fuck you."
So Drake extracts what seems to be the last seed from Venom's suit. That
What?
somehow Drake and the Life Foundation have extrapolated from Venom's incidental birth of the Carnage symbiote when he escaped from the Rikers Island or whatever, that Venom has a set amount of like baby symbiote spawn within it.
And it was 2.
It was 5.
Oh. What happened to the other 3?
We key in by this point in the scene on the last one. We don't know there's 5. We just know that they've extracted it. I'm sorry, actually.
I see. So you didn't see, like, 5 seconds before that, there were several others that they
yes,
extracted
there were
from
there were
him.
4 other ones that
okay.
they pulled. Also, this is not the last, but basically, Drake says like if someone had the penchant for the dramatic, I would call it the last son of Venom. Whoa! And it's not. Actually, Venom is more after this.
Was he trying to say that, like, they're going to kill Venom after this, so this will be the last one?
Well-
Or that literally there's no more seed things in him?
That's what they're trying to imply.
Okay.
With this is like we're gonna tap the market. There's already one Venom book, but we've made 5 other Venoms in this story that we're only gonna shoehorn in the last issue.
Well, we
So-
don't want it to be like a constant thing, like, oh, how come Spawn doesn't ever like make himself a little friend if he gets
Venom doesn't.
lonely?
Venom.
Well, you mean the spawn of
How come
Venom?
Venom
Yes.
doesn't spawn?
Yeah, how come Venom doesn't spawn
just
more?
keep spawning more?
Exactly.
No, there's a limit.
There's a limit.
This is the last
Which is actually
one.
kind of a fair point.
No, that's a good idea.
I like that idea a lot.
I don't understand
they
why.
throw it out.
Of
So,
course they do.
Spider-Man.
It's too good of an idea.
Exactly. So Spider-Man, he goes and stops like some criminals. He's like, I don't know what to do.
Oh, I guess I'll just.
So I guess I'll just be Spider-Man out
fight
here.
crime.
He calls his hot wife and he's like, I guess
Sweet.
I'll come home soon because like I can't find Venom, so I guess I'm done in this book.
I'm sorry, why did you leave in the first place?
He's like, I don't know.
I was trying to stop Venom.
Yeah, she's like,
Didn't
what?
you make a fucking deal with him so he
He's
wouldn't
like-
have to bother?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
What are you wearing?
God, you're an
Oh,
idiot.
it's real hot.
Yeah, I guess I'll go.
Click.
Good
So-
idea.
So
Tiger.
Venom realizes that he's stuck in this stasis field, and he's like, I can't leave because it's made of sonic or whatever. It's made of sound. It's a sound bubble. You see?
Why isn't he like screaming in agony?
Because somehow, like
It's perfectly made so it's around him and not
But
hitting
not
him.
hitting him.
yeah.
God,
so
that's dumb.
Venom realizes that the sonics don't hurt his human half, so he's like, oh, if you recede into me, maybe I'll be able to like escape.
Recede into him like go in his mouth.
Well, it's already inside of him. You know, if we don't form Venom right now, maybe I'll be able to like just walk through it.
Right.
So Venom is
Okay.
concocting his escape plan while Spider-Man is just swinging around looking to save people. And then he finds this crazy-looking female Carnage character called Scream. And it's one of the last sons of Venom.
That's a lot of hair.
Yeah, but the hair is an extension of the symbiote.
Yeah, but the hair is her web.
Yeah. She doesn't
How
really
come
do
Venom
any...
doesn't have hair?
Well, because all symbiotes are different.
Oh.
You know, Carnage is red.
The
Then you
chick
can make-
one has a lot of hair.
Yeah.
That way you can
It's
see
a
her
coincidence. Venom
And
could have
her
a lot of hair,
boobs.
but he.
You know what it is she's Medusa.
Right. Yeah, she's symbiote Medusa. But Spider-Man fights Scream.
Oh.
And you're like, oh, cool. And it's not a bad design.
What's she doing? Why is he fighting her?
This is her like kind of testing her abilities.
Oh,
The Life Foundation released her. And they're like, go, wreak havoc, check things out.
I like that she's choking a dude with her hair.
She's choking a couple people.
Why is she choking people?
Because she's a jerk.
Test your abilities. Harm innocent bystanders.
Exactly.
Who did they give
What?
this to? Like
Drake.
another crazy
What did
person?
they think was gonna fucking happen?
Right? Like now you're public enemy #1. They link it back to you. Your security plan is out the window.
Yeah, good job.
All right, we have to have a very careful screening process for who we're going to be giving these out to.
Right.
Test subject number 1. Have you ever had homicidal thoughts or crazy things?
Naturally,
happen to you?
yeah.
Do you hear voices in your head?
Constantly, all the time.
Are you ever confused as to what's real and what's not?
Yeah.
All right, you qualify. Good job.
Okay, I'm gonna go outside now. So
This is perfect.
yeah. So they're talking. So
Does Spider-Man go, wow, Venom?
no,
You got hot.
no. He does not do that. He's like yeesh, more symbiotes.
Oh god.
Hamina.
You know where
So-
they could go and it wouldn't be a problem? An underground city filled with homos that nobody cares about.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
That'd be a good place to test your suit.
Right? They should. That would actually. It'd be great because
That would give him motivation to take her out.
Reese gave them the Venom, so naturally they should give Reese the symbiote security force.
Yeah.
Test it out down there.
Yeah.
Nope. That's too clean.
That makes
Right.
too much
Well,
sense.
how would Spider-Man like thwart
Get
her
involved.
in a city that he's unaware exists?
Yeah.
Are you telling me that Eddie Brock, in his normal form,
Mm-hmm.
can just throw a guy?
Yeah. He's really buff.
He's super strong.
So Venom,
And he has many powers.
yeah, he recedes the symbiote around his awesomely huge, beefy arm, and he throws a security guy at the control panel for the stasis field, which frees Venom, and then they just shoot him with sonic guns and put him away. And this is what motivates them to go, okay, well, we don't really need Venom at all anymore.
We already got his
Right.
seeds.
He's kind of shitty, so.
Right.
We jacked him off into these cups.
I mean, like, for all intents and purposes. So,
I assume they don't really show where the seeds come from.
Yeah.
No, they do. It's like they like extract it with.
yeah, they just pull it out of his
Things.
chest.
How do they know where it is?
Yeah, see, I don't know.
Also, like,
Neither do they.
how come the
But they
symbiote?
do. They do intimately. Like
They use
know,
like scans of.
listen, like
X-rays.
a beam shoots into his chest, and they pull it, and you can see like there's a special little like goopy blob that represents the seed that comes through the thing. So like naturally they must know like every single iota of a symbiote's natural physiology, so they can isolate his like genetic material and then pull it out.
And this is the crazy thing. It's a symbiote. It can take any form, whatever.
Yeah, I know.
No, it always puts it in the chest.
Oh, my seeds are here?
No,
they're going to extract them? I'll move them.
Right, well, I mean, maybe,
I can't. That'd be weird.
Maybe the idea is, like, since it's a costume, it's, like, two-dimensional anyway, so it's, like, it doesn't matter where I pull from.
They must have had some kind of scanning device. And it's like,
right,
there,
but we
it's
never
there in
see
his
it.
chest.
We don't see it.
Yeah.
No, we do it in the chest because it's more visually interesting to see.
Yeah, yeah, they didn't think about it.
And they chanted Kali Ma while it happened.
So Spider-Man fights Scream, and Scream is like, well, okay, Spider-Man is obviously better at this than I am, so I'm just going to have to go.
Looks
so
like he's fought the symbiote like 5
constantly
times.
yelling?
No.
She just looks visually like she would be.
Right.
Well, she's visually yelling.
It's just because we need a monosyllabic, yet still intimidating sound type name for
to
her.
call her,
Yeah.
Oh, this works. So it's Spider-Man, Venom,
Scream.
Like, you're always just getting less.
Yeah.
Fewer and fewer syllables.
Yeah, because there's Riot and Scream and Lasher and... Anyway, so...
And Dasher and Slasher and Basher.
Prancer and Vancer. So she calls for backup. She throws a dude with her hair. The Life Foundation, like, Quinjet picks her up, and Spider-Man's like, oh, crap.
Well, I guess I'll just follow this jet.
So he does.
Unravel this whole thing.
Meanwhile, in Treese's facility, they're interrogating homeless people to find out information.
About what?
Oh, about Treese's true need for the underground city. What he really wants.
Why would the homeless people know?
Because of the rumors about the underground city. You see,
Free soup.
Treese thinks that there's like a city of gold underneath. There's like a secret stockpile of gold. And he wants all the gold.
He's like, give me your secret underground gold. I know you know where it is.
You wouldn't want to live down here unless there was secret gold under here.
Right, you wouldn't want a free place to live.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
you
were
certainly
like,
wouldn't
California.
use the gold to like
buy a house with sky and air and cars and
Also, the people
running
who
water.
lost the gold certainly would have just left it and be like, you know what, it's underground. The earth has reclaimed it. It is no longer ours.
Yeah, right? That's the kind of people these people are.
No, they're foolish hobos. They don't know that they're making baubles and trinkets from it. They have no idea what it's worth.
No, it's just that they don't know that they're on top of the gold. And they're like, give me the gold. Do you know about gold? Because we're going down there and getting it.
Yellow,
What the hell, gold? Ah, you're lying. Kill them.
Yeah. Anyway, so Treese is trying to destroy the underground city to get the gold. That's his
Is
motivation.
it El Dorado?
No.
No.
No, it's not El Dorado. But it is like there's a bunch of gold down there. Or at least he thinks so.
Oh, I see.
So Spider-Man breaks into the Life Foundation. He kicks the crap out of some of their security people just in time to watch as they pull Venom's symbiote, using a similar technology to the one that extracts the seeds, from Eddie Brock. Now, you should know Eddie Brock and Venom have formed a permanent bond. They cannot be extracted.
And if one is extracted from the other, both die.
Yes. And
Sure.
Spider-Man has actually not used the sonic gun on Venom because of this. He's literally not beaten Venom because he's like, if I do, it may kill him. It may kill him. And then they reveal, it's funny, this panel has nothing to do with the action that's going on. This panel is teasing you what's going to happen in the next issue. And it's that they go, oh no, what could possibly dog Spider-Man after the death of Venom? Another symbiote? What about 5 of them?
When did the Venom book become a Spider-Man book?
Because it is a Spider-Man. Because it's, look, there he is. He's on the book. He's on the
I
cover.
want to know when the Venom book became 5
Venoms?
Venoms. Like, what? You just started his adventures in San Francisco,
Yeah,
and
let's
you're
do
already
5
introducing
Venoms.
5 variants of him.
Yeah, now you have 5 wonderful villains to which you can
any
read
one
other
of these
stories.
could be his major bad guy. He could be his arch nemesis.
You just jumped the shark like immediately.
Yup.
Wow.
Yeah. Now we've made Venom very unspecial. There's 7 Venoms.
Yep. Well, I guess we could stop writing this book.
No, let's do 17 more miniseries. So, Spider-Man, he's.
I mean, they look great.
They're cool.
Yeah.
Objectively
you
speaking.
do get that.
So Spider-Man is kicking the crap out of the security guys. Carlton Drake is like, Eddie Brock is dead. And then one of the attending medical personnel.
Did you check his pulse?
Yeah, they check his pulse and they're like, he's alive. And Spider-Man's like, yeah, told you. And like, ooh. So then they release all 5 symbiote mercenaries on Spider-Man.
Why does he say, yeah, I told you? I thought he thought that Brock would die.
No, it's that we, the reader, thought they would die. Well, Spider-Man always thought so, but he's like, nah, I know I always thought that it would kill Eddie Brock, but he's a tenacious son of a bitch. And, like, I feel like There's no way that he would let you die. His popularity might keep him
Right.
sustained.
He's had a feeling
Yeah.
that audiences reading about his adventures
Exactly.
In his own book.
require that he continue to
We
live.
flash back to like the park above the underground city. The underdwellers are like watching as Treese and his goons are setting up their bulldozers, getting ready to dig and
Right,
destroy
to
the
get the
city.
gold.
And
Yeah.
these homeless people are like, man, if only we had Betty Brock to protect us. You're like, oh, sowing the seeds of doubt in their decision to
Right.
expel
Well,
him from the council.
What happened with your muskets and your
Yeah, why don't you just shoot him?
writing?
Well, so Spider-Man
No,
fight.
nothing.
Nope.
Oh, we can't fight above ground.
Well, we can't fight these friggin' giant mechs and cool things.
Yeah,
Right now,
that's
it's just a
true.
pickup.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
true.
well, but they do have mechs, though.
Why do they chain themselves to some trees? So Spider-Man fights these symbiotes. They start to kick the crap out of him, and then
Yeah.
Eddie Brock arrives, stark naked, and says,
Yeah.
"Spider-Man, stand back. These are all my progeny. So please, you all come from a place of moral superiority and strength, and I am your father. So please abandon these silly hosts and come to me." And they all punch him in the face.
Hooray!
Lol.
Wah, wah.
Meanwhile, the council is debating whether or not they should have kicked Venom out in the first place.
Well, too late now.
I know. So,
Oh, did we make a terrible mistake?
yeah. So then,
Yes,
How
you
about
did.
you deal with the problem in front of you?
so Spider-Man and Venom grab sonic guns because Venom has been separated from. Well, Eddie
Right.
Brock's been separated from the Venom suit. The Venom
Right, so
suit's
he can use the
alive
sonic
and kept in a stasis thing, in a basically a containment unit.
I mean, he should be able to use the sonic gun anyway. It's not like it fires backwards.
No, it's true, but it is. I've seen Venom use the sonic gun, and like it's actually I saw it in a cool visual way where like when he's firing it, like the suit's like just kind of receding from the trigger.
Oh, because it focuses in that direction, but a little bit of sound kind of
Would come out.
everywhere.
Also, like, it's just the symbiote recoiling from what he's doing, like, you monster!
So Venom and Eddie and Spider-Man shoot some of the new symbiotes with sonic guns. One of them gets away and destroys the sonic gun, and Spider-Man realizes that in order to defeat them, he needs the combined might of himself and Venom. So Eddie and Spider-Man go to the place where Venom's symbiote is being kept, and then they are joined once again.
I know I came out here to make sure that he was up to know that he was on the right path, and I think he's not.
Yeah.
And now he's not Venom anymore, but let's make him Venom again.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, he's
So-
got to get out of this scrape.
Yeah.
I would rather Eddie Brock
Oh,
get
do
the
it himself.
symbiote back.
Oh,
Then I get killed by these fucking
by these
symbiotes,
lame
yeah.
rip-off Carnage wannabes.
Are they? So they're right now. They're like, we have to stop Spider-Man and Eddie because we are working for this guy.
Yes.
Okay.
So all five, well, one of them gets away, and then he's annoying them, and then so Venom is like, quick, Spider-Man, use the laser beam that creates the sonic stasis field that keeps me in a bubble, and fire it at him with a concentrated blast. And
Which
maybe
one is this?
This
Yeah.
guy? I don't know.
He's
their
the yellow
names.
one,
He's the
okay.
yellow one.
Slasher?
Dasher.
Phage? I don't know. So
That doesn't rhyme.
I know. No, they don't all rhyme. So, but it shoots his arm, and it kills the symbiote on the arm. So like it just like disintegrates into dust.
Oh.
And so Venom's like, "That's it, awesome. We'll use that on all of them." And
that's it. We'll kill them.
yeah, and Spider-Man's like, "Whoa, what if it kills the people inside?" And Venom's like, "Shut up." So Venom like,
Shut up, nerd.
yeah. So Venom uses his symbiote, because it doesn't trigger a spider sense, to sneak up behind him, and he chokes out Spider-Man and knocks him out. And then Venom sets it up, so all the symbiote guys run at Venom, and then they all get shot by the same laser beam, and it disintegrates all the symbiotes off of them, but they don't die. He used just enough to kill the symbiotes, but not the people.
Hooray!
Spider-Man wakes up, he's like, "Hey, that was a dirty trick, Venom," and he's like, "Oh, please, the people are still alive. Does nothing please you?" Spider-Man's like, "Ooh."
But you killed symbiotes, isn't that a problem for
Oh
you?
no, he doesn't care about that at all.
So they bring out all these 5 symbiotes.
Well, the guys, yeah, the new Venoms.
yeah, and they're like, no, we killed him.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, wouldn't it be fun to see that? Anyway, now we've killed that idea, so there are still only 2, your favorites, Venom and Carnage. That's it.
Right.
And this is the last one, so you can't make any more. They make more.
But-
yeah. So,
Well, I
Now
remember
also-
those goddamn
in
characters.
fact, some of these people come back.
But now also, Spider-Man knows he could just use the sonic gun against Carnage.
Yeah.
There, I killed your symbiote.
Well, except Carnage is different because Carnage is inside Cassidy's bloodstream. It's very different.
So
they're
it can't be
intrinsically
shot with
connected.
the sonic thing?
It would kill. It would kill.
Intrinsically connected, just like Eddie Brock.
No, they had bonded. Carnage is in his blood.
So Spider-Man should just use this on Venom.
Yes.
Like, there, I cured you.
Yeah, I killed Venom.
I killed the alien thing that was tormenting you.
Enjoy jail. You jackass.
Yeah.
Or your underground city. So, anyway, Carlton Drake bails and then sets the self-destruct on the entire facility.
Wow.
Spider-Man...
Covers tracks, I guess.
Spider-Man escapes on one of the escaping Quinjets, whereas Venom escapes by holding one of the truck drivers that's part of, like, the team hostage.
Sure.
He always does that with that little thing around their neck.
Yeah, well,
that's
part of
his
his...
move.
Because his clothes are the symbiote, so just a part of it comes around, coils around their neck. He's like, I'll pop your head off if you don't do what I want.
Yep.
So... Yeah. So Venom goes to Treece's organization and finds out about the gold plot.
Right.
And Spider-Man goes to the park because he doesn't know where else to go. And he's like, this is where it all started. Maybe this will help. And then Venom and Spider-Man fight for a minute because Spider-Man's like, man, like, you know, like, you're going to kill these people. Like,
What people?
the people who are, like, doing the demo of the park.
Oh, I see.
And Venom's like,
That's not
listen,
the way.
we need to stop Treece because there's people down there that need our help. Like, he basically appeals to his morality.
What? Like Mole Man?
Holy shit.
No, the underdwellers. They live
No, I'm
underneath.
Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man's like, what?
Spider-Man punched Venom so hard, the symbiote's face, like, shot off of him. That's awesome.
No, I really dig this fight. I like the idea also, like, Venom uses his symbiote to subdue Spider-Man, and he uses so much of it that he can't actually form a full costume.
That's cool.
But he's also doing it so that he's like, look, I'm not killing you.
yeah. Just go get
Get
down.
down,
Just stay
and,
down.
and listen. Just
Just
listen.
shut up for like
But
a
also,
second.
look, his calves are like giant hams.
Yeah, he is a beefy MFer. So
How does he find... that's why he doesn't find clothes. That's why he wears the symbiote all the
That's
time.
right. Yeah, he's like, come on.
It's just a lot easier.
They just don't fit him.
I'd put something on, I would rip out like the Hulk.
Yeah, I'm just so buff. He should get a job as like a model. Anyway, so Spider-Man and Venom team up and fight the Diggers.
Sure, which would take like a second, right?
It takes like 3 or 4 pages.
Okay.
But Treece is
Did
like,
they
oh
upgrade
man.
the Diggers? Are they like new and improved?
No, they're the same Diggers. But some of them are like diamond filament drives and stuff. They're
now
pretty
they're
strong.
even bigger.
And they also have like fire. Like they blow torches.
Okay. Which is
I don't know, we didn't have these before.
Yeah, you probably should have used that on Venom the first time.
Yeah. To save the day, Treece was going to burn alive because the whole thing, you know, one of them shoots their fire and it burns the whole facility. Like,
Yeah.
Treece runs into one of his trailers and then it gets caught on fire. And then Venom risks burning alive. He uses the symbiote to go through the fire and get Treece to make him stand for his trial, or for his crimes.
Why?
Because Venom learns a lesson about, you know, like seeing people hoisted by their own petard instead of just murdering them.
Also,
when did he learn that?
You know, sometime in between the story. The reason he does it is so that Spider-Man will leave him the hell alone.
Right. I know you're gonna freak out if I let this guy die, so here.
Yeah. I didn't kill the guy who
home.
obviously deserves to die.
Yeah.
all right, well, you just watch yourself, Venom.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't kill one guy. Would you go now?
Oh, thank God, that's all I wanted.
So
Yeah.
so Venom so Treece goes to jail. Presumably Venom goes back down to the
How does he go to
underdwellers.
jail?
What
is this
We
crime?
don't even see.
Do they have any evidence?
Right?
Like,
I know. Well, he's like
he
a
owns the land.
I know,
right?
it's his thing. These people are squatters.
No, he owns the park, the land above, not the land below.
Drainage.
We have our own rules about that.
Yeah.
By the way, nice call for drainage.
Yeah, drainage. Gold.
Wait, there is no gold, right?
They don't get it. There's no gold. Either there is no gold, or they like decide to not get it. But we never.
They should be like, there's no gold, man.
We
What are you
spent that
doing?
years ago. We're all hobos. We spent it on alcohol.
How do you think we have this like perfectly functioning like underground city?
We
with,
went
like
to
gas
Home Depot
lamps
and bought a whole
stuff?
bunch of wood.
It didn't crumble to the underground in perfect,
Yeah.
constructed form. We had to
No.
rebuild everything. We spent that gold, man. It's gone.
Why didn't you use the gold to like buy into the polite society, you psycho?
Oh my God! Why didn't we think of that?
No.
What?
So anyway, they vote to let Venom in, and Venom gets to be part of this freaking stupid group of idiots.
Is he like?
Doesn't know what to do with gold.
Is he part of their actual society, or is he like still an outsider for them?
You know, like
Is he like provisionally in?
no, he's in.
He's
They,
in.
He's
do
in.
they
He
make him a
rescued them.
constable?
No, No, you're Venom. You get, as long as you protect us, you can stay here. And he's like, okay. And the eye patch guy is like, oh, you'll be sorry you did this. Uh-oh, what's going to become of eye patch guy? Venom Lethal Protector is a story about Venom being, it's a backdoor pilot for Venom. Like, do you like this? I mean, and by the way, great template for a movie because, like, Spider-Man's not even in the damn thing. They team up and fight in a cool way.
Yeah.
But, like, you easily
could do it without him. He's not
need him.
Integral to the story.
No, but he is integral to the existence of Venom.
Yep, he is integral to the origin.
Yeah, you can't just say like, hey, it's a thing. Here.
No, you can.
You can. Oh,
I think you can.
They did.
We'll find out.
We'll find out, all right. If you want to get a copy of Venom Lethal Protector, I'll put a link in the description box below this video so you can click that and get a copy over on Amazon. We want to thank you all for checking out this episode of Venom. A little callback to our first episode ever.
Yeah.
Just checking back in with old Eddie Brock. Maybe we'll see Venom again in another couple of 100 episodes of this channel.
It's about how popular he is.
He's very popular.
Yeah,
he's super popular.
I meant with you.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, like, by the way, they're doing new, neat stuff with Eddie Brock Venom now. They did really cool stuff with him with Flash Thompson, but that's all in the past. We're doing new stuff with old Venom. So, Like, did you know he has wings now?
What?
Venom?
Yeah.
Well, I guess he always could because the symbiote can do whatever.
Yeah, but no, there's a new power.
It's a new power?
Yeah, he can grow wings.
I don't understand.
Whatever.
He could make anything.
He could have like
no, but it's a new power.
He could have like 8 arms.
Yeah, I know. No, I know that, and you know that. But when Venom sprouted wings, people were like, "Oh my God, it's a new power!" And they know that because Venom says, "I never could do this before." So it's like, oh, it's
well, why not?
I was so hung up on spiders.
No,
and spiders
I guess I
wings.
didn't think of it.
Well, it's because he didn't connect with the hive mind of the god of the symbiotes, which unlocked the truth about being a symbiote.
Which is that you can make more than just anything. You can make wings.
More than anything?
Yes.
Yes.
My goodness, wings. Fascinating.
Hey,
how about fins and gills? No.
I bet he could grow
It's
gills.
literally just like, hey man, you can make more than just like filaments and
Webbing?
ropes and webs and stuff. You could make like other stuff. Oh.
I mean, like, the tongue itself, it serves no function.
Yeah.
That's cosmetic. But if it
cool.
actually makes drool and stuff, then you can make arms or wings.
Well, Carnage makes a fucking axe. Like, clearly you can make you're like a Green Lantern. You can make anything.
We established this 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now he can make wings.
But now he makes wings.
I got so hung up on being angry with Spider-Man, I could think of nothing else.
It's literally that he was not able to do it until he was unlocked.
Fucking sense. Why wasn't he able to do it though?
So why are other symbiotes unlocked for shit?
Oh.
I can make blades.
Well, we'll see you guys next time on another Visit Adventures. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. See you next time. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.
Bye.